We ended up saving over $1,400. Hey y'all, hey, Erica with Time to Shrink. Let's chat about February no spend month. So my plan in February was to do a pantry challenge and a no spend challenge. So what that meant was I was gonna eat out of our fridge and freezers and pantry, feed my family out of that, and not go grocery shopping, at least as little as possible. And I was not going to be spending on extras. So no Amazon spending, no like, oh, I want that, I'm gonna go out and buy it, which is stuff I generally do. I definitely don't restrict my spending very often. I have not in quite a while. So that's what the goal was. And y'all, it went so well. Total, we ended up saving over $1,400. $1,400, y'all. I'm so freaking excited about it. It got me so motivated and so charged to really be working on my budget. I'll be tweaking, I'll be moving things, I'll be adapting, I'll be using different forms. I found this YouTuber called The Budget Mom, and I love her. I'm obsessed, y'all. I've watched so many of her videos. She's given me so many good ideas. A lot of her printables are awesome, although I'm not wanting to spend money this month, so I can't like go to her store and buy her printables like I would really like to. So I've kind of been putting my notebook together without some of her printables that maybe eventually I'll pay for. But I did use the free ones that I could, and then I've made my own. So I'm kind of just gonna walk you through March, show you what we're planning, and also I wanted to talk about a little bit about my debt. I've had a student loan for quite a while, y'all. I have. And we have not been paying it off or trying to pay it off even, because the APR is pretty low, and we have had credit card bills for a really long time. But now that we don't have any debt on credit cards, it's time to put money towards that. So I put every dollar of that $1,400 to a student loan, and I'm so psyched. We are gonna get it paid off. Before I know it, I'm like, $5,800 is what it was. All right, so debt repayment plan, I'm covering up the account number here, but this is how much we owed, $56.18 at the start of February, and normally this is my normal payment. Because of the no spend savings, we were able to put $1,400 down, and I was so excited. Then, this is something extra also, because when I was making the budget for this last month, this check was not included. This is an income check that came via soccer that I was not planning. So instead of rolling it over into March, we just sunk it straight to this loan. I am super, super psyched about that. And next month we plan to do the same thing. Throw everything we can at this. Some of the things that I've added to my financial notebook, this goes in the very front. It's a bill pay checklist. So I wrote all of the bills that I have, when they're due, and the amounts. This is more just like a cheat sheet if someone other than me has to pay the bills. So then we've got the debt repayment plan, and then I started a yearly savings tracker. I have some sinking funds, and I shared these last time, but I wanted somewhere to track how much I'm putting in. So I'm tracking it yearly, how much I'm putting in here, but then I started a sheet for each one. So I put the balance as of the day I made this sheet, and then as I add to it or subtract from it, I'm gonna keep it here on this ledger. So I think that'll be helpful, and I have one of those for each of my sinking funds. And then the Budget Mom that I told y'all about that I'm really liking, she has a 12-month savings challenge. There's like a bunch of different challenges to do each month. So I wrote those down. I'm not sure that I'll use all of them or not, but February did no spend, and then March we're gonna do a pantry challenge again, and you know, as much no spending as possible. I really am just feeling fueled and energized to do this. So then I also started a page of special occasions and things that are due only on certain months. So as I think of them or as they happen, I'm putting them in here, and it will help budgeting more in the future. And then I just kind of have a list of things that I want that are dreams, and a thing that I want that are just regular spending, because I'm not really spending this month. So here's the February that I had showed y'all already. Okay, so March. I printed this online. This is from Pinch a Little Saves a Lot. I liked this calendar plan, so for March, this is when I'm paying what bills. I've started filling it out. It's not completely filled out yet. And then my monthly budget, this is from the Budget Mom. This is one of her free printables, and I really liked it. It's very similar to how I was already setting my stuff up, but I don't have to make a new one each month. I can just print this off. So I put our monthly income here, and this in the bonus income there, that's what it says there. Really, that's soccer income from my husband's soccer coaching. This is the item that I was way off on. I don't know where I got that number. So instead of changing it, I took all that money and landed it to the student debt loan, which I had told you about. So anyways, we just kind of did our fixed expenses and our variable expenses for the month. With the no spend challenge in mind, I put my groceries down to $200 and my miscellaneous down to $200. Everything else is what it normally was, and then I added in budget lines for birthday presents, and then I also added in a budget line for taxes. So each month it'll be a little bit different according to what we need, but then I have my debts down here. I ended up putting the mortgage down here in the debt also because it really is a debt. And then savings, these are our sinking funds that we're putting things into. So I don't do a zero budget like some people. I know a lot of people say that your income minus your expenses should equal zero. I don't do that way, at least not yet, because things come up that I haven't budgeted for, that I haven't thought of. So I budget the amounts that I think that I need for the month. Whatever I have left over at the end of the month will go straight to the student loan debt or extra funding into savings or things like that. So it ends up zero at the end of the month, but I don't go down to a zero budget, if that makes sense. I know that's probably a no-no, but this is how I do it. Then I have a page for expenses, and I got this from the Budget Mom too. You write all the expenses down, but each category gets a color. Here, let me show you my February. At the end of the month, you can go highlight all the different colors, what you spent, and then it's easy to go through and add them up. So like the blue was gas, so I went through and added up how much I spent. So I spent $311.04. Over the next few months of doing this for each category, it will help me to know what I should actually budget. I have one for everything I spend out of my envelope areas, and then one for checking account. So let me share with you my spending that I must have got from Jordan Page on her blog years ago, because this is really exactly how she does it, and I just think this is brilliant. I don't like to use cash, y'all. So I do get cash out for my husband and my son's spending so that I don't have to keep track of it all. It's just easier that way. But for me, I use this. So this side is my groceries and this side is my miscellaneous, and I divide it by the weeks of the month. So there's 4 weeks in March. And then when I spend money on groceries, it'll come out here. When I spend money on miscellaneous, it'll come out here. For me, miscellaneous covers a broad thing. I don't like to do a hair fund, you know, this fund to that fund, all these different funds. I don't want to have to keep track of all those envelopes. I don't want to have to do all that. And so I just put miscellaneous or other and put everything under that. And then I put inside, I just put the receipts in here and then I have them. But on the back, I keep track of some of my other funds. So I have a section for gas, a section for soccer, a section for savings, money that ended up getting pulled out of savings. I have that on here, but because I made all these budget worksheets, I may not really need this back section. I may could just put that onto the worksheets that I had formed, but this is how I had always done it before, but I didn't have all these worksheets that I had made for this finance binder. So the front is definitely not going to change. I may stop recording all this stuff on the back. I may just do it both places. I don't know. We'll see how the month goes. So that is the update. That's how last month went. That's the plan for March. This has gotten kind of long, this review, so I will post early in the week a look of what's in my fridge, pantry, and freezer, and what the plan is going forward for March as far as what we're gonna eat and all of that kind of stuff. I don't want it to be extra long, so I'm gonna cut this off here. Love you all. I will check back in soon. And very soon I will hit you with what's the actual plan for March as far as what we have and what we're gonna try and do. Bye, y'all.